Welcome back, folks. We're getting into game number 2. Game 1 went to release in pretty dominant fashion.
It was dominant, and I think the big key for Juice Gaming here is they need to fly out of the gates.
Yeah.
Like, fly out of the gates, because at the moment, the only person that looked to me that they turned up was Dust.
Yeah, I agree. Dust was the first person on the board, first blood going the way of Juice, and really the rest of the team just seemed to lag behind.
And when I say lag behind, it was either they weren't up to speed, they're not ready for this land just yet,
Sure.
They've got nerves in there, or Release just completely shut them down so hard that there was just no coming into it for them in the first place. If that's the case, then they still need to fly off the gates this game and show they were here.
You know, I got to reserve some judgment. I think Transonics did what he was supposed to do in lane. You didn't really see, he didn't get ganked too often. He wasn't the subject of really too much problems.
I agree, but you've got Nemesis, didn't make an impact.
I agree.
A Giannis.
I agree.
That's all I need to say, right?
Yeah.
And then you've still got a Capri that, let's be honest, one was a single ultimate that was used effectively. There wasn't one really. It still caused deaths afterwards. Wasn't as effective as they wanted to be. No good abducts as well. This game though, Juice need to come back in strong and fast. None of this Nemesis wait for mid and farm up. Let's go deep. Let's go balls to the wall. Take aggression. Guardian jungle maybe. I don't know.
Well, it's important that we understand that it's a best of 5 Hindu.
It is.
So that first game can just be water under the bridge if Juice come out and perform right now. The bans have come out. Release say no hell and no Sun Wukong. Juice, their first ban is Freya, and their second ban is being discussed right now.
Well, Juice were first pick last time and chose Capri as their priority #1 pick.
Right.
So if that's the case here, they probably want to ban Capri, but they do leave things on the table.
Well, Geb was banned out by Release last time around, so we'll see if that same mentality is. And we'll see something different banned out by Juice this time around. First pick going the way to Release, and we'll take a look at where these guys opt to go.
Yeah, we'll find out exactly where they're going to go. What is Release going to look for?
First pick being waited on right now. Release, talking it over. We're taking a look at the guys on Release right now. Clow on the right side of the camera, centered on a different player. We'll take a look as they discuss the pick. Coming down to the last couple of seconds here, actually.
They're all very quiet on comms, actually. They're not talking too in-depth. There we go. It's a Zhong, not a Hell. There we go.
Now it all makes more sense. So Release opts to ban out the Zhong.
So I guess they don't want to first pick a Zhong Kui. I think that's the big key there. They don't want to first pick it, and they do have the option, Juice Gaming, to actually look at a counter pick for that and maybe pick Zhong with something else. So don't want to give that one away. Xbalanque going over to Release, and Crey the Outlaw.
The first pick, Xbalanque. This is what Crey played last game, and this guy has seen a lot of success. Juice going to opt for the Hades Athena situation here.
Now, Hades seems to be the go-to pick on Xbox in the solo lane for the super safety of, you won't really lose lane.
You say solo, but it's universal for Smite. Hades has a lot of control. Hades has a lot of wave clear, and Hades is a potent god when it comes to multiple stages of the game.
You won't see him in the jungle. You won't see him in the support role.
All right.
Yeah, you won't see him in the hunter role either.
Yeah.
So you're probably seeing him in the solo or the mid. So yeah, he's a little bit versatile, but more than likely, solo lane against warriors is a lot more effective.
Sure.
You can deal with the warriors more effectively. Mid lane can control it for the most part. I like the composition already from Juice to get the Athena, get some global presence. They had it in Giannis last time round. Hopefully, Gili can make a bigger impact in this, but potentially they could run TeeVee in the jungle on that as well.
There's a lot of options out of Athena. We've even seen, on the PC side of things, we've seen Kiki So Cheeky play mid.
I was going to say, that's a god that's got more option roles than a Hades.
Well, no, when I said universal for Hades, I didn't mean necessarily the pick. Right now, bear with us. We're going through some technical stuff. We're going to be fixing the picks and ban phase right here. So why don't we just talk in general about Hades, as things have been thrown for a loop here. What I was talking about was Hades, not just Xbox or PC. Some of these gods are stronger on either side. Hades in general is just a potent pick. So, all right, we've got our picks and bans done. Let's restructure. Release in the first round of picks. They've opted for Hades first pick, and then Athena and Poseidon followed up. Juice in the first round of picks have a Xbalanque and Geb duo lane and an Isis.
So far, so good. Clow going to go to his default Poseidon. He's played it a few times.
Yes.
But he's going to have a good time at this one once again. Looking for big Krakens. Keep an eye out for looking for the Geb early on before he can get a few levels on that shield and actually absorb it once again. Release going to take away Thor this time with that ban. I'm surprised that Thor ban went to there. There's a lot of respect for the Thor here on TeeVee.
Yeah, Thor is a character that has a lot of control, and all of the superlatives that we sing praises about him on the side of the PC game. But also keep in mind that both Lispy, otherwise known as Xing, and TeeVee are players that have high amounts of success on the PC. So Thor, a staple there, very important. Take it off the board, that'll leave Awilix.
What was I saying just before this game started about Juice this game? They need to get off to a flying start. TeeVee on something more aggressive early on.
Agreed.
Monster rotations, on top of the fact that Gravity Surge combined with a Geb can knock up Athena, can knock up Poseidon, and Odin. They just picked an Odin into an Awilix. What? I don't know that pick. I don't know what that pick's about from release. The Odin pick's a bit suspect to me.
Okay, because of the jump?
Well, because of the jump, yeah. And Awilix can reposition it. On top of that, depths from below from Hades can also be pulled as well. It's classed as a leap effect. But all these gods here have the ability to be knocked up now and then pulled in by Awilix, can set them up for dangerous, dangerous situations. With the Odin, though, they do have the chance of ring into Kraken, which is very useful against Noir, against Isis, against Xbalanque. Very useful to keep him down. Geb, too. Quite effective against.
All in all, both sides of these squads look very aggressive. That's what I'm taking away. Odin is not a character that's really going to sit down for long. He's going to want to be right in the action, and it's going to be an Odin jungle. Oh. So we'll see Lispy playing on this Odin, and I mean, Odin is known for high player damage in the early game usually.
Well, let's see if he takes a page out of Weaken's book or he takes his own route. We'll find out going into this one.
I knew you were going to mention it.
I had to. That was the last Odin I'm pretty sure we saw in the jungle.
I tried to stay away from it. I knew you were going to mention it. For those of you that don't follow the PC scene as closely, the last time we saw Odin in the jungle, he did not have a stellar performance. Let's just put it that way.
I mean, he did 667 damage in 20 minutes. That's not bad.
Xing trying to turn things around here for release. And again, speaking more to the strengths rather than the weaknesses of this character, Odin early on is just, the damage is incredible. He does the bird bomb, and pretty much by like level 3 or level 4, the back camps are one-shottable. Imagine that effect on a player's health bar.
Now, early game as well. Boots online for the Athena this time round. We're going to play by Freya, sorry, I should say. He's not going for the blink, which we saw earlier on in this competition from the side of the Eager boys, up against Elevate. But this time round, gone for the boots for a little bit more mobility. Not going to go for the early blink just yet. He may need to invest elsewhere, depending on how the composition works out for him. Maybe even needs an Aegis this game to avoid Krakens potentially.
Clow has always,
because Poseidon's on his team. Ignore me.
I like the Poseidon on Clow. This is a character that, even a little bit, we've seen Clow play on the PC side of the world on the Challenger scene. He's opted for the Poseidon in the Xbox. We saw a lot of Poseidon come out. MLG. This is a character that Clow has played for pretty much forever, Hindu man. So Clow understands the ins and outs of Poseidon. I'm expecting a big turnout from our mid laner here for release.
We'll see how he works out, because at the moment he's going to be against an Isis and an Awilix. Now, those two in the mid lane have a lot of burst damage, a lot of control as well. Good news is Isis versus a Poseidon is a very even matchup. Both have very good push power. Isis early on generally has a little bit better push, but at the same time, Poseidon can do it a little bit safer away, so it doesn't eat much of the Wingus and such as well.
There's that power of the Odin, the instant wave clear. He's level 3, folks. That's a level 3 Odin, and the two abilities combined to just instantly take out the minions in the mid lane.
And the big key for me is what we're going to see out of Lispy, played by, well, also known as Xing, and TeeVee on these two junglers. Both very effective at ganking. I'd like to potentially see TeeVee not gank and play the counter gank game. Watch the rotations of Lispy here on this Odin, and the moment he sees him going aggressive, gravity surge him straight back out of that leap that he goes in with, and set him up for a terrible death. That's what I'd like to see TeeVee look to do. Not only
does that effect reposition the Odin, but it also, if executed in time, just takes a lot of the damage that Odin takes off the table. Gungnir's Might is really not the bread and butter of the character.
And then if you're not going to do that option, then look for the ganks onto the solo lane. Day after day after day after day. Hades can't really get away from an Awilix in that situation, because as soon as you try and get away with the depths from below, you get pulled back in. You've got stuns with the clay minions. Noir has plenty of kill potential there with the support of the Awilix coming over. So there's a lot of opportunities this game for TeeVee to really step up into the game and look for opportunities for his team, especially because he's in such a good position here.
All lanes seem to be going the way of release right now. If you just take a step back and you look at the minimap, you see left and right pushed underneath their tower for juice respectively, and in the mid
it's
lane,
pretty even. Well, this is what you'd expect to see in these lanes. Hades has great push power early on. Noir will neutralize that soon, so Dust should be fine there. But big Kraken attempt on TeeVee. He didn't hit the center, and he's going to leap away immediately on Suku. So Kraken down, and there's a chance now for Juice to look for some aggression elsewhere.
Yeah, the jump out of Odin also a little bit late. if that bird bond came down a little bit early, we might have been
That
talking
was
about
cool,
first blood. But because it was almost a full second late, honestly, both players get out of there clean and clear.
Didn't manage to find the Kraken at all there, but now the rotation coming out from Juice here. You can see TeeVee heading over to the left-hand side here, looking for the rotation to this dual lane. Geb is level 4. Doesn't have it, so he does have Blink, so one knock-up could spell disaster for the boy.
And there
Freya.
it is. TeeVee grabs out of the air. Down goes Freya to the help of the Suns. Transonics.
That taunt, no.
Ooh. Transonics puts one in his column. Crey puts one in his. But for the guys on Juice, Transonics is the one with the passive. Very close there.
Really good way from Lee to turn that one around. The big key there was Freya realizing that he had to land a big 3-man taunt.
Yep.
Kept them all trapped in the Suns and traded a 1-for-1. Yeah, First Blood did go over to Xbalanque.
Yes.
On that for Juice Gaming, but the trade out for Crey the Outlaw means he's not too far behind.
I just like how quickly the Suns came out from Crey. As soon as everything started going awry, down came the ultimate out of the Ho-Yi, and that just allowed that trade to happen. If there was a little bit of hesitation, that might have been a very different situation, just like we saw in the mid lane.
Yeah, and the big thing is, Lispy in the jungle here on this Odin now gets a bit of an experience advantage because TeeVee did fall down there. Yeah, they're splitting mid-harpies right now between the two of them, but he's got a little bit of an experience lead as it stands. He goes back to base for the first time. Oh, no, he's not. He's going in.
TeeVee takes a little bit of poke, but he's able to jump out of there.
And the
Not
key is,
a big deal.
Keep poking TeeVee down, force him back to base so he falls behind further in experience if they can make that happen. But we saw exactly what can happen with this Awilix here. Right hand side though, he needs to have a little look over there at the moment, does TeeVee, try and support because Dorsey's having a rough time against this Hades.
He's not able to be as dominant as he was before. But just as you said, it's a matter of time. Nuwa will be able to really clean up the wave, be able to clear the wave a little bit more efficiently in a little bit, whereas Hades can pretty much do what he wants from level 3.
Yeah, that's pretty much the stage we're at right now where Nuwa should be fine to sustain, but if she goes back at the an inopportune time, she'll lose the tower.
Quick shield out of Gili right there. These are the small things that you like to pay attention to. The reaction time, right? The taunt comes out and there's not much threat, right? You're going to get taunted and poked down by the shield wall out of Athena, but I just like to see the reaction time out of Gili, and it was almost instant. Very quickly that shield goes down.
They were potentially looking for something, but Xbalanque just ulted defensively there. No, sorry, no, too early, I think. I didn't know whether they wanted to go for the play in the end. I was surprised by that.
Two different decisions going on right there. Xbalanque thought that there was an aggression, that it was going to be the large aggressive
play. Yeah, they
play,
looked for the play, but it didn't end up happening, which is quite surprising.
TeeVee was just showing up in lane to provide a little bit of triage as, I mean, we're 5.5 minutes in, Hindu, and this tower, Dust's tower, very low.
And it's good work from the Hades early on to really put the pressure on there. He had a rough early game last time around, but Kraken in the mid lane, and we're going to see Puri deleted. 2
big circles. I mean, that's as simple as it gets. You put a ring around it and drop a Kraken right on the inside, and that's going to be the second kill going the way of release.
And the one thing against an Odin is that you want to have the mages have the real trouble of getting away from them. There's only 1 or 2 in the game that can get away, like Scylla, like Nuwa with the ultimate to buy a second or 2, but the most of them are going to get stuck inside that ring. Combat blinks could be an order of the day potentially for Purified here to make sure he doesn't get caught in that situation.
That's normally the response we see.
Oh, well, in this case, though, I could see an Aegis because you really want beads. You always want beads, but with the fact there's a Kraken on the map too, potentially an Aegis, and just you're going to have to soak and time your Aegis very, very well. And maybe get Krakened into a ring and then have to run around a ring like a headless chicken trying to survive.
I like the Aegis decision, actually, because thinking about it with respects to the abilities coming out of Purified, so you drop the Isis ultimate as soon as you... So the Isis ultimate, the heal will be negated if you pop that in the Odin ring. It's a different type of ring, a knock up into a pull. A lot of damage onto Crey. There's the Xbalanque ultimate and the follow-up, but the Suns will provide a little bit of distance. TeeVee gets a kill on the backline onto Freya, but the ultimate saves Crey for a moment. The chase is not strong enough, and Crey finds himself safely underneath the tower.
I'll talk about safely because at the moment Juice might not be safe. There's a rotation coming in from release on this left-hand side as well. Clow's on his way as the fight on the right is breaking out there. Hades in a bit of trouble there, but here comes Odin and Clow. They're not going to go too aggressive, though.
Too little, too late. It's only 2 members here to Juice's 4. If Juice decided to turn around and fight that, they might have even had an opportunity. Clow does have the Kraken available alongside the ring, but it's still a 4-on-2. Juice instead decide to play it safe even up the kills, even up the gold, and they just slink back into their lanes.
Now, the cameraman did show something interesting there, though, is that Hades is starting to struggle in this lane now. You saw Dust come back into this one and put the pressure back on once again.
That's the swing we were talking about.
We are, yeah. And that's when Nuwar's actually got the clear potential that she will have now with the Shoes of the Magi line and a couple of levels. And look at this. Assisting Foot is going to be very careful now.
This is the opposite of what we saw, what was it, 3 minutes ago, Hindu, that we were talking about, Dust's Tower? And we mentioned, sure, the Nuwa will find some more wave clear later on, but also find some more damage as Assisting Foot is going to be forced back to base with a sliver of HP.
A lot faster game from both teams this time round as well.
Yes.
I wanted to see that out of Juice. That was very important for them after the last game. They picked a slow, methodical team. This time, though, a lot of more aggression. But it's not working out as well as they want to, because every time we've seen them gank the duo lane, it's ended up being a trade almost, if not, every time.
That's why our kills are even here, 2-2. Much different situation, though, as you said. Very fast-paced game. Game 1 was a little bit more meticulous, a little bit more calculated. This time, well, what's the old saying? Clowculated? Just straight aggression?
Well, talk about Cloud killing. I mean, Cloud, for the most part, he's not been too overly aggressive. He's dropped a couple of good Krakens, but he's not had to do, well, one good Kraken, I'd say, and he missed one. So
right.
He's 1 for 1 so far with the ones we've seen. But he's doing what he needs to. He's farming mid, rotating fast. That new War ultimate, is that defensive? Yes, because look at his HP bar. Dust is very, very low underneath the tower right now. I thought he was checking for vision of where the team was, but it wasn't. It was more defensive than anything. So this lane going backwards and forwards in the solo.
That'll force Dust back on home.
And that should lose his tower now.
Yeah, we'll keep an eye on Nuwa. Still has the beads available, or just the beads as way of actives. We're not going to see. I'm curious to see if we see the teleport out of the Dust.
He's 50-50 on taking it, but I think he's just going to end up losing his tower instead. But we should see a fight at the Gulf here, though, with this Hades rotation coming out.
Hades making his way. He'll show up on the backside of Juice. You have to be aware. Dust needs to have communicated that he's not in his lane, which means that Hades is unaccounted for. Release decide not to go for the objective, but they're still hanging around on the left side of the map. Lispy showing his face. TeeVee.
Bit of a mistake from Release there. I feel they should have made something happen. Hades rotated, didn't get the tower in the first place. Could have stayed and got the tower for the free gold.
Right.
And then made a rotation afterwards. Instead, he rotated early. Don't get either of them. But the good news is Dust, well, he went to go and support the potential Gold Fury. And instead of lose his tower and even...
How strong are the Winions? Do the Winions take the tower, Hindu?
They should. Unless Minion's getting placed, but mid lane.
Mid lane, the ring is dropped. Lispy all by himself, but there's help from the backside. Cloud just avoids the Geb ultimate. Lispy in some trouble. Basics coming out of Cloud. Kraken still available. All of that and not used.
You know why it wasn't used? Because Purified has the Aegis one.
Yes.
He was holding it, trying to wait for that Aegis to be used, trying to see if he could force it out of Purified first. But Purified, very wise, stuck to his guns and waited for that Kraken, which never came. Good play from Juice and Release at the same time.
Yeah, I love the decision making coming out from the lack of Kraken. A lot of times you want to use those in a strong situation. There's a Kraken to help out the friend, but Freya falls anyway. TeeVee with a strong pull off of the assists from the mid laner.
Very good plug by both the boys there. I want to see Freya actually pick up beads. It's very important for him. They're going to look for him every single time. 3 gravity surges in a row I've seen connect with him now. He needs beads in this composition. His taunts have been on point though when he's been pressured, but he's not surviving enough. Juice though going to try and abuse the fact they picked up the support early. Go for the Gold Fury. No Kraken on Cloud.
Here. No Kraken available. Whirlpool is there. Gold Fury low. Juice Gaming does secure it. Crey drops his ult. Not able to find a kill. And Juice pick up the objective and safely walk away.
Good trade for them overall. I mean, they lost the tier 1 tower on the right-hand side for that and losing one character fight is not so bad in the grand scheme of things. You can see how the gold is on the map at the moment. 300 in Juice's favor, and they've got towers to take still.
Yeah, taking a look at the graphs, you can see just how up and down this game has been and how sharply that Gold Fury sort of saves Juice. I mean, last game what we saw out of Release was a 2,000 gold lead, a 3,000 gold lead, a 4, just step by step. What happens is here, we see a slight lead coming out of Release, and then Juice take the Gold Fury to take that off of the map.
Just take it off the map and just keep the pressure on. They're trying to bring down the tier 1 tower in mid, but they have to back away as soon as Gili shows up more than anything, because one knock-up and the Gravity Surge is available potentially for them to find a pick.
Great job by Juice going back to that Gold Fury for the last time. Just important. It's a tie game now, folks, and it was very important to really get rid of that small lead because we saw what Release was able to do with the small lead last time. So I can't express how important it was for Juice to tie the game
There's
right
a lot of talk to do with proactive and reactive games, and sometimes you can be reactive and make it work for you. Juice game in the last game were reactive and didn't make it work. The proactive team were the one that came out on top. That's why I wanted to see Juice this time switch things up a little bit. This Awilix is making a much better impact for the team than we saw out of the Nemesis last time round. Obviously, comps are different as well, but it's a much more aggressive situation.
Unfortunately for Juice, last game we saw Dust have a strong impact from almost minute 1, and TeeVee really wasn't anywhere to be heard. This time around, TeeVee's landing pulls, getting kills, going for objectives, but we haven't really said Dust's name too much.
Don't need to. He's new on the solo lane. You don't want to be saying your solo lane his name too much. If you are, then that means he's having a good game and nobody else is.
Well, here comes assisting foot off the left side, but he's pulled under tower. TeeVee one more time turns the play. Purified with credit onto that kill. Meanwhile, Release wind up taking the tower in the mid lane. Freya in a little bit of trouble. Lands a taunt, but here comes Xing out the backside. Blinking in, there's a Kraken to deal some damage, and the mid laner in some trouble. Dust as well, forced into the air. That'll deal out. He gets a kill. TeeVee picks up Freya. Very low is TeeVee. He'll find himself safely on the right side of the map. Cloud by himself in the mid lane, able to push off. Can he save the tower?
No, he can't.
Likely not.
Wave clear. That fight from Release was absolutely ludicrous. I don't even understand what they were thinking in that situation, because now they're in a world of hurt. They're going to lose a tier 1 tower in trade. I don't know why they went for that trade. It wasn't worthwhile. And now they can continue pushing Juice if they want to here. Instead, they're going to back away and take camps.
Yeah, the problem there was assisting foot came from the backside and got pulled.
That was a foot, yeah, and then after that, Odin initiates in a 4v5, like, all right, we can make something happen. It wasn't, I didn't think it was worthwhile, ended up not being worthwhile completely.
I didn't even have it was just the Hades, that the out of position pick and then the decision to go 4 into 5. That's what really hurt.
It was a 4 into 5. It was a clear 4 into 5 as well. It wasn't like one of them was caught. They were all out.
Right.
And they reinitiated trying to turn something around. Up against that composition, they've got a Geb on the lineup as well. I mean, trying to get through a Geb with shields as well and the Aegises that were available, get the Kraken burst damage, circle of protection was down. It's like, pfft.
And Awilix is a character that you wait for your opponent to prove what they can and cannot do, right? You know what I mean? Okay, they have an Awilix, you're a little bit afraid of the pull, but you can play around it, right?
Yeah.
You can be a little bit aggressive and maybe even risky. But with how TeeVee has played this character so far, and let me say, with how TeeVee and Gili have combined with this character so far, you've got to show the respect. You have to assume that pull is coming for you. And we're just not seeing that out of Release.
At the moment, though, it is landing on the right target, which is, well, for Release's point of view, they're hitting the Freya. But they're hitting Freya, the Athena, as he's actually is in game.
I'm so happy they banned Freya.
I was too, I was going to say. But with it landing onto Athena, it's a tankier target. It has ways to get out of that situation again. And if they're going to waste a lot of damage on bringing down the support, it's not all doom and gloom, especially towards the later stages of the game. But this stage is still useful. We saw what happened last time. They got the Gold Fury off the back of it.
Just so much impact off of the single character. Release grouped up. 3 people here.
They're looking for purple here. You might be able to get a 2-man taunt onto these two. I don't think they recognize it now. They will.
There it is. The ring drops down as well. There's a Kraken out of nowhere. That's going to be a strong one as Cloud picks up the support onto Gili, but Purified quickly turns things around and makes it a trade as Lispy falls.
Trade for now, but maybe they'll continue the aggression there. Release Gaming, find a very good pick. Hung around a little bit too long, though. Juice Gaming, lack of ward coverage is the big key there. They should not have got themselves caught that deep in the jungle. There should be at least 1 ward on that side of the map. Just because Gold Fury's down doesn't mean no one's going to be around there. And in the end, Release made them punish them a little bit, but not enough as they could have.
Yeah, we're taking a look at Ward's place, and it's so interesting to me to see Release doing, I don't want to say just lagging behind, because in game number 1, one of the things that allowed them so much success was the fact that their map was just peppered with these wards.
But Release aren't lacking behind. If you look, it's Juice that aren't warding as much as them. I mean, there's not a lot of wards overall for 16 minutes in from anybody. Clow and Xing are the two that are stepping up for me on the side of Release, and across the way you can see Gili doing it. But ward coverage very, very important, especially with some of these gods with these monstrously fast rotations.
Yeah, in game number 1, Release was really able to just keep an eye on everything. I mean, I remember towards the solo lane, there was 5 wards. The entire jungle was visible to Release. And this time around, quite the opposite.
Well, now with the Gold Fury respawned, everyone's starting to get the sentries out once again. You can see the opportunity now around the Gold Fury. It is in Release Gaming's favor here. They've got the sentry ward cover. They're trying to pick on the corner edge here, but there's a ward that's just out of a sentry ward range to hear anything.
Yeah, we'll take a look at these players get set up. Let's take a listen in.
I'm gonna push this. I'm pushing. I'm pushing.
Right there. Just go to tower then.
They're gonna force gold.
Yeah.
That's it. Rotate now.
Yeah.
We're 5 to gold. Do you want to ult?
Yeah, pull it.
No.
Yeah, actually,
I can throw on it.
Yo, get a blink at it. Get a blink at it. They're bursting it.
They're back. They backed up. Their heavenly's down. I didn't use anything.
You have to.
Odin's on me.
Yeah, you're
Odin
taking a lot
ult
of poke. We're not doing anything.
Knocked him up.
Athena's ulting.
You know.
Get out. That's Sunbreaker.
The minions are so lame.
I don't have.
I got out. That's Hades ult.
Let's get out.
Just,
Yeah, oh, no.
TV back. TV back.
Can you guys be?
I'm good.
You guys be careful.
They're gonna go on it. They're gonna go on
They
it.
got my beads, but I'm good.
Yeah, but they have nothing. I'm coming with full health.
We
You
can
guys-
definitely fight this. We can definitely fight
Yeah,
this.
they have nothing. They have
We
no
can definitely
damage.
fight this.
Around.
Do we have Isis ult?
Yeah, I do.
We need a big one.
Oh! Good shit, Gili!
I stunned.
They're really low. Athena's like 1 hit. Yo, go! We gotta be
Nice. Wait, yeah, we got it. Go. I'm coming. Full health.
I'm dead. We got the gold.
We need a couple more kills.
Trent's still there.
Still fight this. Fight this.
Dash in.
Nice job.
Keep going.
Yo, he's almost He might
We're
have
going after. It's still going.
Back and forth. Crey going to be shut down by Transonics. That'll be 4 stacks of the passive for the Xbalanque. Juice, okay, so let's break this one down because that was back and forth like I don't know what.
The comms did everything for you there. You heard the talk from Juice. I thought they were making mistakes because they all sat and watched as all these ultimates went off around
Right.
like, we should keep backing out. And they were losing health.
Well, so it was very reactive play. All Juice was doing was baiting out these abilities, but there was one big mistake that didn't bite them too hard. So
This is ults were down.
Exactly. TV backed, and the communication was everything is down. Go. Clow had a bright blue black diamond.
He had, one Kraken, yeah, you could lose one member, but the big key there was Gili's ultimate.
Huge.
Gili's Cataclysm was absolutely amazing, set up so much for the team.
And I want to butt in before we get into more into the X's and O's. One of the things that I loved about Juice was hearing the commendation of Gili. Gili gets that 5-man Cataclysm, and immediately the first thing said is, good job. And that's important.
It was a good job. The problem was is the follow-up wasn't as clean as it could have been, and they got punished for it. Yes, they got the Gold Fury, but hold that thought, because Dust is in trouble.
Nuwa surrounded by 2. Sailing. Oh, nope, not quite. Everybody will be fine.
Wow.
But continuing to break down that Gold Fury play.
What were they expecting then? Why did they back out?
I'm just afraid of the rotation.
What rotation? There was no one else to rotate. I didn't understand that.
TV's on the way.
He was like half an hour away. He missed the bus.
They don't know that.
I
They
don't
have the
understand that
bus
one.
schedule.
That was really weird. They're just like, no, okay, we'll just leave it. We got his ult. It's fine.
But so Juice was able to come back. Clow unleashes the Kraken, right? And that's not the problem with Poseidon, but that was all he had. And so Juice was able to turn around and had the presence of mind to stick to it.
To be fair, the fight was actually won by Release and the Kraken and Cloud. The team played it very, very well. Did Release gaming. They lost to Gold Fury, yes, but the fight. Oh, can you see that?
Transonics.
New ult not available. Taunt on this right-hand side as well. Big dunk in, though, from the boys. A Kraken connects with Gili. TV's going to fall down as Cloud gets a double.
That's another double kill for the mid laner on the side of Release. Doesn't seem to be done yet. Dust all by himself. Clow on the left, the rest of the team on the right.
Combo.
Long-range Spirit Ball will stun out just one. Nuwa forced it in the air. Clow's still here. Ultimate on the back out of Isis. That's going to hurt Ching more than it will hurt the enemy.
Yeah, it will.
And that's going to be a problem. Release
Meanwhile,
don't get the kill they were looking for.
Left-hand side, Transonics is taking tier 1, pressure in the tier 2, and you can see that the trade is on once again. Crey the Outlaw is not really winning that one as they're chasing around the corner for Clow, who's out of mana here.
Yeah, Clow's got no options. He's beautiful ages to
He had
avoid the
options.
long
He
damage
had
out of Fury,
options.
and now he's
He
turning
had
it around.
options.
Basics out of him and a jump out of his jungler. They combine for 2, going the way of Release, but meanwhile, quite the different story on the left side. I was praising Transonics before we got into it, and this is why. Just able to pure pressure in this long lane.
Good pressure from there just to get the tier 1 tower. Right hand side though, Juice really overcommitted looking for that pick onto Clow there. And Clow, what a bait.
Yeah.
That was a master bait of any variety that I've ever seen. He baited so hard then, it was so good.
Strong play.
So good.
Strong play in the short lane was very strong. Just the team combining and Fire Giant started.
Fire Giant has been started by Release now, but look at this. Juice are on the way, but can they get here in time to defend? The members are coming. Gili's being zoned. Freya's on zoning work already.
Fire Giant
this
30.
could drop here quick. The
Fire
ring's down.
Giant 20.
Suku,
Fire
we trust.
Giant dead. Release Gaming get the Fire Giant. Here comes Gili. Double stun out of the ultimate from the Geb. Juice Gaming looking to chase. There's a lot of low HP bars, but they all have Fire Giant around them. Transonics picks up Freya for himself. The rest of Release should be able to get out of here. TeeVee looking. TeeVee can't find much. No pull. Pull's available, but no
But
pull.
they could try and punish this actually and get a tier 2 tower on this right-hand side. Only Clow's here to defend, really.
Yeah.
If they can push these minions in down the right-hand side, they could potentially turn this one around before reinforcements from Release Gaming can get here. I don't think it'll be enough to change the tide of battle, but an extra bit of gold in the coffers will help out that they just lost a Fire Giant.
I mean, Transonics is level 20 Xbalanque. He's able to annihilate these towers.
Yeah, I mean, but they've got to keep it. You've got to get an opportunity to. Against a Fire Giant team, you've got to back away now.
Yeah, you absolutely have to run. Ladies and gentlemen, that Fire Giant goes the way of Release, but they're still trailing overall 12 to 11 on the kill board, 53,000 to Release's 48. That leaves 4,600 gold in the lead for Juice.
But that gold's going to disappear as soon as these tier 2 towers start getting shredded by the Fire Giant team of Release Gaming. They're in an opportune situation for this. Gold Fury spawned as well. There's more gold in the bank for them as well. Juice may want to contest, but they have to think about it, because if they lose a fight over it, they could potentially lose the game.
Well, so this is very important. As I said, 4,700 gold is what Release was trailing when they got the Fire Giant, right? So what we need to see is this needs to be 0. They need to even the game off of this Fire Giant push. The Gold Fury is a great start, and that's going to cut that 4,700 to about 3,000. Now Release need to look for the objectives on the by way of the tower. Clow's all alone. If Juice realizes this, they can just punish him.
Right, he's not on much mana either. Now you can see the rotation though coming out from Release Gaming. He's regenerating a little bit of mana obviously because of the Fire Giant there, so he's just trying to keep the lane pushed up a little bit. And it looks like Juice Gaming want to defend this tier 1 here. I think that's their call has been made. We'll defend tier 1.
Yeah.
It's not often you try and do this unless you feel like you can take a fight.
Well, so Juice is going to give it a shot, and the second the fight starts to even slightly go the way of Release, they're going to slink back.
Watch
on
out for
See,
Fury
right
on the
here.
backside.
Just
He's the key.
immediately back. A good taunt out of Release, and the Kraken is strong, but
ring is
largely
better.
it's one. Crey drops the Suns, and Transonics taking out the large part of Juice's damage. Release now sort of have the upper hand as TeeVee grabs the Hades. It's a 4-on-4.
Here's a 4-on-4, but now Crey's going to have the ultimate from Athena coming out as well. Freya going to go in, look for the taunt, find 2. The clay minions were down on the dunk from Lispy was good, but Freya's tanking too much damage. He should fall down. One more shot,
very low,
not enough.
as is Freya. TeeVee and Freya. Freya's going to fall thanks to the new ultimate. Not available for Release, so TeeVee gets out of there no problem. Dust gets the credit for that kill quite obviously, and it's enough defense to force Release, Fire Giant and all, off of this tier 2 for the moment. But here, Gili in some trouble.
Gili, not in trouble. Gili, dead. Instead, it's down to the 2 mages of Juice Gaming to try and withstand this. But Lispy comes in again, bursting onto dust, but he's in a bit of trouble here now as well. Whirlpool from Clow will buy a second. Look how long Clow's sticking around with no health, no mana.
Xing is in the middle of the player damage chart, but he has been all 9,000 damage has been effective damage. He finds himself jumping into the middle of these team fights and just bringing everybody's health down a little bit more. It's all been effective. There hasn't been any like poke or here's a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Every single time we see Xing engage, it winds up combining with Clow for a kill or otherwise taking somebody off of the map.
The most effective thing to talk about in that whole engagement though is that Juice Gaming just took on a Fire Giant Release Gaming team and only lost a tier 1 tower out of it.
Yeah.
They've dissuaded that Fire Giant that they lost earlier on. They held the tower down and managed to get themselves back in this game. This is no way near over, and Release have still got work to do, because that's the first time I've seen Juice in a team fight scenario that went in their favor.
We were talking, Hindu Man, 4,700 gold before that Fire Giant was taken. Let's take a look at the graphs real quick. It's now 1,800. It's not quite the 0 that Release fans might have wanted, but 1,700 gold at 26 minutes, Hindu, that is definitely close enough to a tie.
Agreed, and same with experience too. Taunt onto Gili though, a bit of poke damage. They won't commit all the way just yet, or maybe they will now. Is the Kraken going to drop out? No. Instead, Cloud chooses to hold on to it. They don't want to waste it on the Geb.
I like the decision not to use it on the Geb. Let the Geb roll out.
Notice how Gili didn't panic either. He could have Cataclysm there to buy himself a second if he felt like it, but instead he held his too. Both these teams very respectful of what each team could actually do, and the only way they're going to be able to die.
Very, very protective of the ultimates, understanding that when it comes to Kraken specifically, but Cataclysm a little bit, but I'm speaking more to Kraken here, it's largely a shotgun, right? You take the shot and then reload. That's a long period of time. After the Kraken is out, you have a whirlpool.
That was a
of
shotgun that just hit Dust, and Dust is almost dead. One hit, it should be enough. No. Meanwhile, though, Gili gets trapped in the ring again. This time, maybe they'll find him.
Now we'll have the jump, and Lispy Goomba stomps Gili into the ground. Dust is out of here, but TeeVee and Transonics have shown up. Transonics takes out Lispy. Crey the Outlaw now surrounded by members in Juice Unis. Crey knocked up. TeeVee gets the flip. Crey very low, but can they take down TeeVee? They do! The inclusion of the Hades makes sure that Juice's jungler falls down.
Everyone keeps falling down. Look at them. One by one, 3 members of Juice Gaming going to force back the 2 remaining Release Gaming members away. I don't think they've got the damage alone, though, to do the fire giant with these 3. I mean, they do with Xbalanque, but it's a little bit risk.
Transonics has the damage, but as you said, the damage was there, but the damage to deal with the fire giant and the Hades, probably not. So Juice intelligently plays it safe here and walks a little bit away. They still have a little bit of a lead. They can hang their hat on the 2,000 gold they have, but things are getting a little bit closer for Juice.
For Release, Crey here has to be very, very careful in this Hell Ye. There's been a few times in this game that I've seen him getting caught slightly out of position. He's not with his team as much, and he keeps getting isolated, and it's forcing his team to defend him. If he was with his team a little bit more often here, Juice Gaming would have a harder time in these team fights. When he's positioned correctly, we've seen those suns drop down, and things have washed really, really badly for Juice Gaming. But a couple of times I've seen Crey's name been brought up where he's in bad positions. He's got to watch himself every time.
Yeah, we had to Hades had to come in and sort of save him from TeeVee.
And Athena, and he was very lucky that he survived as long as he did. Still got picked off at the end because of it.
Exactly.
But it worked out so. Just got to watch his position a little bit more.
Xbalanque with 15,000 player damage, 15,700 player damage. Transonics absolutely swinging like a truck. Juice paying all attention to the right side of the map. They have no idea that the Gold Fury was just taken. We'll see how they react. Let's listen into Juice right now.
Go. In the cage.
Oh, heavenly.
Wait for Poseidon.
No,
I'm waiting for Poseidon.
I had shielded. My shield's down.
Carry. I'm trying to feel this Awilix down. Oh, I thought you
I have blink ult.
My ult's down.
He has blink ult. He has blink ult.
I'm away from him to move out the corridor.
My ult's down, sorry. She's gonna dash. Oh.
Hades in the back.
He has
On Hades.
Nice.
Cracking down.
You can detonate.
Yeah, we can fight this. Fight this.
Go.
Cloud.
That's his Aegis. Keep it going, Trans!
Keep going. Nice.
Keep going.
Keep going.
Minions are in the tower. Just destroy.
Do you have 2 minions, Dust? Minions?
3 seconds.
Alright, we have Phoenix. Free Phoenix.
Minions. Push us. Nice.
Knock up.
Purified's marked by Crow.
Alright, we should back out.
Fire.
We have a good turn, Bryn. They're coming.
Yeah.
They don't have.
Do you have ult, TeeVee? Do you have ult?
Yeah.
We should look right here.
Do you have knockup, Gili?
I'm getting this ward right now. I have knock up.
Oh, she dashed. Knock up.
Knock up.
She's dead.
Oh, shot. The Odin cage.
I'm getting shit on.
He still jump. Just jump out.
Get out. I have ult in 7. We can't ult back.
I don't
Yeah,
think
we can do this. We can do
Just,
this with Imperial.
Handyman, just pure aggression, pure excitement. I love to hear the team react like that after Transonics did what he did.
Transonics ran down Clow like roadkill.
Yes.
That's exactly what just happened.
Yes.
On your screen. You just said, I'm just going to chase him all the way. And he found the pick. It was really, really good play from Juice Gaming. Big key on the communication side, though. Early on in the game, you saw a big situation.
Yeah.
Early on in the game, you saw the whole fight go through, okay?
Right.
And we were talking about that communication on the comms. It was very slow and very, very quiet.
It's just way too much going on here on the side of Juice for Release to really just deal with it. And this is 8-1-9. That's my analysis for the Transonics Xbalanque. 8-1-9. And again, I can't mention it enough. This is the Xbox native. A lot of these players have come from. He's just born with a controller, right? Like, he doesn't know the mouse and keyboard life. So this, for him, the accuracy, that's just what he does. And this is why Juice has taken him. He was the first Masters player on the entire Xbox console.
In fairness, he was very quiet game one, and we've heard the names like Air Cougar and Hotbo from the last two teams that we just saw. They both turned up today, and I was like, Transonics, well, he was the first Masters player. He plays Hunter. He's on the Juice Gaming squad. Maybe he's...
It took him a little while.
Look at that new Warrel. That was a key.
Yeah.
Why would they... You did that just for vision.
Exactly. That's what I like to call a satellite ult. Nobody is on the map. No idea. Nuwa goes in the air. All of a sudden, all of that information is on the board.
There's a real problem, though, that I don't like about what we just saw at Juice Gaming.
What's that?
Dust just used the satellite ult, and they weren't close to even executing it. Instead, they gave the game away. Warning signs went off on Release Gaming's head, and now Shing just went in with a big blistering ring.
Just in a little bit of trouble, but more trouble on the way of Release. The Suns are coming down thanks to Crey.
This is close.
Damage goes out, but nobody falls. Both teams find an exit.
Right side, Transonics is gone. He's gone ham, but he's alone at the moment. The reinforcements for Juice need to come and support him. There's TeeVee over the wall. Has he got the feather step? Doesn't even need it. Puri will bring him down. Meanwhile, they can continue the chase. The pull, the gravity surge. The support should die as well.
That was a little scary. Transonics, for as talented as he is, anybody that's played with or against him will tell you that sometimes he's susceptible to tunnel vision. Right there, Transonics found himself 1v4. Juice, they understand how their teammate works. They show up in barrels to help out the Hunter, and it goes the way of Juice. We've got 2 members dead on the side of Release. Lispy does pick up TeeVee, but Dust takes out Crey. Now there's only 2 members on the board for Release. Juice still don't want to deal with it. They're going to find themselves safely back into the jungle.
Damage is done, though. The back of the game has been broken. Juice Gaming just have to follow through with this now.
Yeah.
They've only got 1 Phoenix left to take on the left-hand side with a tier 2 tower, and the map is all theirs. Fire Giant still stands 2. With 2 Phoenixes down, it's going to be a big ask for the Release to try and get back into this one.
33, about to be 34 on the clock. 23 kills to 16 by way of Juice, and the gold as well. 75 to 70,000 gold. 5K up for the guys on Juice, who are down a game. So it's so important that Juice eke out this win. This is the best of 5, of course, Hindu. So you don't want to be down 2-0 against the wall. Even up the series, then Juice can take things as a brand new series.
There's a lot of things to talk about in this game, but one I'm going to mention about is the Athena here, played by Freya. You can see his 1, 9, and 8. He's been involved. I liked his taunts early on, but I mentioned something about beads, which I think is really, really critical here, and it's important because he's been picked multiple times by the gravity surge, time and time again, where he keeps getting pulled in. He should have really gone beads to support himself and keep himself alive in these fights.
Fire Giant started down to about 50% HP. Assisting Foot knows this is happening, so does Lispy. Isis Ultimate is down, but the pop is strong. Juice, get the Fire Giant. Assisting Foot tries to land the ultimate onto Purified. There's the ult to Clow. Assisting Foot in some trouble. He's not going to dash. He gets pulled, but Crey drops the Suns on the entirety of the Juice squad.
Doesn't matter. Fire Giant regen, and the amount of sustain they've got will keep them all alive. They pick up 2 quick kills. That is game. Clow, no Kraken available. You saw the new Warrel come out with the fire shards there just to push them back a little bit further. They can roll down mid and turn this into a 1-1 game here after.
Lispy has to jump away. The guys of Juice coming down the middle lane. Here comes Clow dropping a whirlpool just to slow down the onslaught. But Juice, they've got all of their members present, alive, and accounted for. Ready to look at the Titan. TeeVee's the first one to throw the ring. Lispy drops it down, looking to provide some sort of defense. There's 3 members, and it's just not enough. Juice take it down. The series is tied up. It's 1-1.
1-1, and to be fair, I expected that after the first game when we saw the picks and bans. I was like, okay, this is a better lineup for the boys at Juice. A little bit more aggressive early. The Geb, Awilix combo, we've seen that on PC before. We've seen it around Smite. People will start realizing it.
Yeah, it's very, very potent, but I think we can look back to the number one thing you said was to look for a god that TeeVee can make an impact with immediately.
It wasn't necessarily, it was more like he has to be able to be early game focused as well.
Right.
Nemesis is not early game focused in the slightest. Unless he gets a lucky 1 or 2 kills, he's not going to have the greatest time trying to get to that stage.
But we were just able to see the clean handoff. TeeVee started things going. Dust made things happen, and then it was Transonics all the way to the end.
Well, we said Dust was very, very quiet throughout the game. Exactly. Had the highest player damage, though.
Well, he was quiet at the beginning.
Transonics, yeah, but
if you asked me midway through, I probably wouldn't have said the same thing.
All he needs to do against Hades is just farm up. That's what most solo lanes do, and then try and turn up when the team fights happen.
It's a tie series here at High Res Studios. 1-1, Juice versus Release. It's a best of 5. Stay tuned. We'll bring back.